back to my channel. And for those of you that are new here, just recently found my channel, I am Gwen, and I'm a 67-year-old woman with transgender experience making all kinds of content for you to enjoy. So, how's everyone been? Hope your week has been going well. Hope your weekend was good. Things are a little bit better for me this week, a lot better than they have been for the past 2 weeks. I've been thinking about maybe doing a walk today, but as you can see behind me, it's kind of dark. If it's tomorrow, we have rain moving in, so they're talking about possibility. It's Thursday of rain mixed with snow, so it's definitely getting colder. We're almost to the end of November. Um, as I said, things have been getting a little bit better. And a couple of things happened over the past week that have been very, well, up and down, but more down than up. A lot more up now. Um, Last Wednesday, I had gotten a letter back from the U.S. State Department on the verification letter that I know I have told a lot of you about previously. Well, State Department said we cannot read the signature of the claim representative on the bottom, so they were rejecting my request. Okay, well, that means a trip to my local Social Security office, which is an hour away one way. So I got everything all together again, and I drove down there yesterday. Got there about 25 minutes after 9 in the morning, figuring I am going to probably be here a few hours. Walk in, I'm the only one in the waiting area. So I signed in, sat down. I may have waited 5 minutes, and the gentleman behind the counter calls me up. Says, "What can I do for you?" Explained the situation, handed him all my identification, passport, all that stuff to identify who I was, explained what he needed done, and he looked at it and he goes, "Oh yeah, because I know who that is." So he prints the claim representative's name on there and he goes, "Is that all you needed?" I says, "Yes." He's like, "Oh, well, that was easy." I'm like, "Okay." So we got into a little bit of a discussion. He goes, "I've never had anyone ask for verification letter to be authenticated by the State Department." So I explained to him that the country that I didn't tell him we were relocating. I just said that the country we were thinking of relocating to required a verification of income. And he goes, "Oh," he goes, "so to prove that you can support yourself." I'm like, "Exactly, yes." So he asked a couple more questions and I was on my way. I think I spent maybe 15, 20 minutes, and that included waiting to be waited on, getting what I needed done, and talking probably for close to 10 minutes to the guy behind the counter, and that was it. I'm like, "Oh, this is really wonderful." Jumped in the car, drove a block down the road, and there was a UPS store. So I went in there with everything that I needed to send to the State Department. A young gal behind the counter waits on me and she says, "Oh, okay, phone number." So I gave her my cell phone number and she goes, "Are you sending this to the same place you shipped to last time. I says, well, what's that? She goes, the Department of State, Department of Authentications. I says, yes. She goes, oh, okay, here we go. This is all, you're all set. Told me how much it would be. And I says, well, let's overnight it. She's like, okay. Pulls up the, pulls out the overnight mailer, puts everything in there, seals it, and says, you're all set. I'm like, oh, wonderful. I was in and out in less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at most. I was in the store. So the whole trip, I spent maybe 25 minutes, maybe a half an hour getting everything taken care of. And I actually checked my email this afternoon, and the documents were delivered to the State Department. So that's going to be in process now. You just got to wait for it to come back. There should be no problems now. Um, so, anyways, 25 minutes, maybe half hour at the most. It just sailed so smoothly by. Oh, by the way, you figure I spent an hour driving there and then an hour driving back home. I spent more time driving than it did to take and get all this done, but it's done. So I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's a big relief for me. Um, the other bit of good news is Saturday we went for haircuts, and talking to my stylist, she was looking over my hair, and she goes, I still stand by my original prediction. She goes, by the end of the year, next month, she goes, your hair will be long enough. She goes, that wear wigs every day. Oh my God, that's awesome. She goes, right now, it's long enough. She says, especially in back. She says, that you could use hot rollers and start styling it. And then she showed me, had me hold up a mirror, and my hair, my natural hair, is just about down to here now and back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing! I'm so thrilled. And I have extensions, but they're what they call a halo. Essentially, it's a band of hair that's sewn to the halo, and it's almost like fishing line. It goes over it and gives the appearance of fuller, thicker hair because my hair is so fine. Um, I bought some last year. The problem is when I got them last year, they matched my hair color. Now they're actually lighter than my hair color, and so her and I were talking about it, and she says, "Well, she says the reason why your hair is getting darker, she goes, it's hormones." Really? She goes, yes. She says, you'd be surprised. She says the pregnant women, she goes, that I have that come in, she says at least this much, she says, of their hair from their scalp outward, she goes, is a different color. She says, because your hormones change when you're going through pregnancy. I says, well, that kind of stands to reason. So she says, in your case, she goes, your hormones have changed for obvious reasons. Um, so she goes, your hair is getting darker. I'm like, oh wow, that's really amazing. So we talked some more, and she goes, in back, she goes, you got new growth coming in. She goes, almost at the base of my head. She goes, that looks really, really good. She goes, I just can't believe. She goes, how good your hair looks. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. So we kind of segued into talking about her mom. My stylist, well, actually, her mom is part Native American from, she's actually Seneca Native American, and an Italian, and her dad is full Italian. Well, anyways, he was saying Her mom is getting to the point where she's starting to thin. I says, well, let's do the menopause. And so we kind of talked about how the drop in estrogen affects thinning of the hair, and in some women, they will get a slight like mustache across their upper lip because the drop in estrogen is now competing with the natural testosterone in your body. Excuse me. And also, too, because of the drop in estrogen, now competing with the testosterone, this is what creates abdominal fat to accumulate in women. So I says, I will never have to worry about that. And she's like, why? I says, as long as I take estrogen, I says, I will never go through menopause. I will never have um, thinning hair, female pattern baldness. I says, I won't accumulate that around abdomen. I says, I'll have none of that. She stops and she looks at me. She goes, I hate you. I'm so jealous, which was kind of funny. But anyways, so that was a really really good day Saturday. To hear a lot of the encouragement from her. Um, oh golly, there was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, oh dear. No, I forgot what it was. It was mentioning about going to the stylist. I thought it crossed my mind I was going to talk about it, and I forgot. Oh darn. Oh well, maybe I'll remember for next week. Let's see. What else is going on? Not much else is going on. Of course, next week is Thanksgiving in the U.S., and I am going to be cooking for, if I include myself, 9 people. Oh, I know, I remember. Yes, I remember now. I was going to talk about. Anyways, cooking for 9 people. We're going to have Thanksgiving here, and we're going to have it right here in the sunroom. Set a couple tables. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Um, so what I was really was thinking about talk about. I was involved and am involved in this study at the hospital that's looking for correlation between diet and psoriasis and whether diet can influence psoriasis breakouts or flare-ups. So part of this program is I had to enroll in this program called Jumpstart, and it's an interesting diet. You do it for 2 weeks. It's very low fat, vegan diet. I am not allowed to have meat of any kind or dairy. I can't eat eggs. I can't eat cheese. I cannot have oils. I can have as much green leafy vegetables as I want. I can have any vegetable I want. I can eat potatoes, sweet potatoes. I can have beans, any kind of bean, kidney beans, navy bean, garbanzo beans, canola beans, lentils. Lentils is actually a bean. Whole grains, like whole wheat, anything like that. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And most of the people in the program are having issues with possibly high cholesterol, being grossly overweight. Let's say I'm not going to say overweight, grossly overweight. A BMI of 30 or greater, pre-diabetes, things like that. Which I have suffered none of that. But so for me, it was more a case of um, seeing how being on a very low fat vegan diet would affect any psoriasis. So I've been on it 9 days. I think today's the 10th day, and I'll be done with this Saturday. Anyways, so I was on it for first week, and I didn't think too much about it, and I weighed myself prior to starting the diet. I'm like, okay. So last week I jumped on the scale just for, I was curious more than anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lost 6 pounds. I'm like, that's amazing. It just, and the interesting thing is I thought I would be really, really hungry. Now, part of the program is as long as you stick to the beans and the veggies and green leafy vegetables and whole grains and things like that, you are not calorie restricted. You can eat as much as you want, and you can eat till you feel full if you so desire. So, one of the breakfast ideas they had is like oatmeal with fruit. So, I have, it's uncooked, but it's a half cup of uncooked oatmeal, and I add water and heat it up in the microwave. And then I take a cup of frozen mixed fruit, which is strawberries, blueberries, red raspberries, and blackberries, and heat those up in the microwave for about a minute, mix it all together, and eat it. Well, the first time I did it, I thought I'm going to be hungry as all get out in like an hour. I had breakfast at 5:30 in the morning. I did not feel hungry until 11:30 in the morning. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Another breakfast idea they had was bite-sized shredded wheat. You could have, as long as there's no sugar on it, you could have that. I have that with some water, heat it up, warm it up, mix in the fruit. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. As I said, any kind of greens, any kind of beans. Sunday, I did a vegan chili. It was carrots and red peppers and green peppers and onions and garlic. I stir fried without using oil. You can do it with water or vegetable broth, which I did do. I stir fried the vegetables and then stir fried in some tofu. Then added a small can, about 8 ounce can of tomato sauce, and threw in a can of white, well, cannelli beans, otherwise known as white kidney beans. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I should ate too much before I ate. But anyways, it was really, really good. Vegetable soup. I made a vegetable soup. It's just a whole bunch of vegetables and some seasonings and some garlic, uh, vegetable broth, and I've thrown in black beans. And I just made another batch Sunday, which I didn't do black beans. Oh, I use garbanzo beans. Oh my gosh, that is so good. So, anyways, been on this Jumpstart program, and I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. I'm really, really surprised at how good it has been, how full I've been feeling with what I've been eating. I've been finding, I used to, prior to going on Jumpstart, um, I go to bed 10 o'clock at night and sleep to like 4:30, 5 o'clock when the dogs would get me up. This past week, I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I'm waking up 3:30 in the morning, full of energy, ready to jump out of bed and start the day. It's because I'm off sugar, no sugar whatsoever. Um, Highly processed carbohydrate foods. I don't eat, I haven't had any of that. I can eat rice. I can eat rice on in quinoa on Jumpstart. I can have some sweeteners, either agave syrup or pure maple syrup, a tablespoon per day, and that's it. All the fruit I want. But because the sugar I'm getting now is natural sugar, and I'm not eating processed sugar or highly processed carbohydrate foods, I feel better. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better. I'm happy because this is going down too a little bit, which is great. But still, I'm really amazed. Oh my gosh, this is the most. I'm not gonna say the most wonderful thing. It's a really, really good plan. I after it ends on Saturday, I can see myself somewhat continuing it, not in its pure form, but in a modified form. Like last night, we had some leftover fish fillets, and I couldn't eat them, but I'm like, oh, I really want some fish. I can't even eat fish. I can't eat chicken. So, I mean, I can see myself maybe moving back into having like fish or chicken or turkey, something like that. Um, you know, modifying it a little bit, but generally, staying more towards the vegan side with eating a lot of green vegetables or eating any kind of vegetable. Let's put it that way. Eating a lot more vegetables, a lot of fruit, and whole grains. Whole grain pasta. Picked up at the grocery store Thursday. A whole grain um, elbow pasta. I can eat that. I can have. I think it's is it a cup cooked, cupped cooked. Um, at every meal if I so desire. So, I mean, this is really an interesting um, lifestyle change. I have been eating somewhat plant based for the past 2.5 years. This is just another tweak on it, where I'm just eating more vegan, and I'm really amazed. So enough about that. Enough about that, and I've gone on way too long about the benefits of the Jumpstart program. So, anyways, I'm starting to get cold. It's very cold out. Not very cold. It's low 50s here today with a little bit of breeze, and with my skirt on, it's a little cold. So I'm going to wrap things up. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, as always. And if anyone has any comments, questions, suggestions, something you would like me to talk about, please, by all means, in the comments section below. And as always, like, share, subscribe. Um, we're all part of this one big family. And, you know, I love you all. This is the reason why I make the videos every week. I love hearing from everyone. So, with that, again, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and a fantastic weekend. And I will see you all here next week before the U.S. Thanksgiving. So until then, bye everyone.